What's going on, boxing fans? It's your boy, Pool Kind of Boxing, coming at you with another boxing video for the boxing minds and the boxing heads. Oh, yeah.
To the Paul Caesar Beats production.
Oh, yeah.
Purchase your records today.
Well. Look like somebody done walked over your grave, Terrence Crawford. Look like somebody done walked over your grave, Crawford fans. Oh, yeah. So, what do we have? The WBO has came out and ordered the Shawn Porter-Terrence Crawford fight. Now, a lot of boxing fans, or let's say Bud Crawford fans, they like to make up a lot of fake shit. You know, you just get tired of hearing Bud is the greatest. Bud would knock out everybody in the universe. Bud would knock out Thanos. Bud would knock out the Incredible Hulk. Well, we just want to see Bud fight Batman. We just want to see Bud fight Daredevil or Captain America. Can we do that before he gets to the Incredible Hulk, before we get to Thanos, and before he could do all these wonderful things? You know, all these big time. You know, we already know he's just too good to challenge. You know, we already know that, right? Can't we just get him to fight somebody besides Jose Zepeda or Green Machine or Jose Benavidez? We know that the Bud Crawford fans give them the credit of fighting. Okay, let's say Jose Benavidez is not Shawn Porter, right? But they give him the credit like Jose Benavidez is on the level of Shawn Porter, or Green Machine is on the level of a Danny Garcia. So this is what aggravates, you know, true boxing fans or the boxing purists, is the bullshit. You know, nobody wants to hear that garbage in boxing. We're about seeing the best fight the best. And if that's not happening, then you're talking a lot of bullshit. You know, you shouldn't be watching boxing if you out here making up lies about how great Bud is, and he haven't showed you how great he is, not at 147. Now, I understand that Bud had to fight who he had to fight for undisputed, but you got to understand, people who's been watching boxing for 40 years wants to see Bud fight talent, right? So you want to see a fighter who has talent fight another boxer with talent, right? Not just a bunch of names. And you can always tell, you know, how good a boxer is by the opposition that they face. So the people he fought, the people Bud Crawford fought at 140, you know, they didn't have a lot of talent. They're not a special talent. You see, when Floyd came up, he had a lot of special talent in the league. He had a lot of, you know, he had Hernandez, he had Castillo, he had what's the guy name? Diego Corrales. These guys were on the level of Danny Garcia. These guys were on the level of Shawn Porter. These guys are probably higher level than those guys, you know. And then Floyd beat a great champion. Hernandez was a great champion. So when you look at the way the special fighters, you know, elevated their game, you know what I'm saying? They fought really hard competition, right? So the reason Bud Crawford gets the flack that he get is because the Bud Crawford fans keep amping up his opposition, and the people who's been watching boxing for years and years knows that's bullshit. Much as you want to give Bud Crawford the credit, he can't get it because he's not fighting the best competition. And you can't make him a greater fighter by lying about the competition, the opposition that he has fought. It just don't work like that. It's either you fought tough competition or you didn't. So now that he's at 147 and he's been there for 3 years as the WBO champion, he should have fought some of the top competition, right? By any means necessary. He's talking about fighting Josh Taylor. He's talking about fighting all these off-brand welterweights, none of them at the top of the division. This is why Bud Crawford gets. It ain't that everybody's hating on Bud Crawford, but they hating on how he's moving, right? Nobody wants to see a special talented fighter fight the lesser competition and then claims he's the best, right? That's this new generation bullshit. You know, they're on that fake shit. You know, the older generation, it is what it is. You know, we want the truth. We want to see the real best fight the best. This new generation, they're all about superficial, on the front, lying, fake narratives, and all this kind of craziness. When all we want to see is the man fight the best in the division. It's simple as that, right? You would think, but with all the misinformation, propaganda, and stuff that's being poured into boxing, the real boxing fans having a hard time really enjoying the sport. Every now and then, you'll get a Brian Castano, Jamil Charlo. You'll get Errol Spence fighting the top of the division. But the people, the fighters who are trying to fight everybody, is getting the hate, and the fighters who are cherry picking in the divisions they're getting the love from these fan boys. And that's what's wrong with boxing today. So nobody wants to hear all that fake crap. You know what I'm saying? Just because you say Bud Crawford can beat everybody at 147, that's a load of crap, because Bud ain't trying to fight the top people at 147. We know that because we can see his attitude. He ducked Shawn Porter how many times? You keep talking about he didn't activate his mandatory. Why should he have to activate his mandatory? That don't make no sense. Shawn is at the top of the welterweight division. Bud is a champion. He should be fighting Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. He should be fighting Errol Spence Jr. These are the fights that he should be having, right? So for the people that say, they try to have it both ways. They say that there's no sides of the street, but then when it's convenient for them in the argument, they say, well, Bob won't put the money up to get those fights for Bud, because they fight for PBC. Well, you can't have it both ways. You see what I'm saying? Because if Bud wanted those fights, Bud in an interview said that before he signed in 2018, he said he knew he could get those big fights. Bud don't want those fights. Bud even said he would retire if he didn't have to take care of people. Bud is telling you everything. Bud Crawford is telling you everything that you don't want to hear, but you're not trying to hear it. And you want to put it off somehow on Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is doing what he's supposed to do, right? He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's with a promoter that's not trashing him, calling you trash, right? But the Crawford fans, they're doing more campaigning than Bud is. They're pushing Bud more than he's pushing himself, and they just keep going and they don't listen. That's because this generation is on a bunch of superficial fake shit. You know, they're on a whole nother fake level. But Shawn Porter is a hard out for Bud. He hasn't faced anybody with that kind of motivation, that kind of drive, and that kind of style. So you seen Green Machine, when he pressed forward on Bud, he dropped him. What you think Shawn Porter gonna do? Shawn Porter gonna mug the shit out of him. He's gonna be awkward. He may butt heads with Bud and cause a gash, and you know how wild Shawn Porter is. Nobody wants to see Bud lose. Everybody wants to see Bud challenged. But you try to put him on such a high pedestal that nobody can touch him. Bud is the Black Canelo, just like Canelo fans do Canelo. Oh, Canelo, he would destroy everybody. He would destroy everybody, so we don't have to see the fight then. We don't have to see it. Right? So, because he's protected now by the fans, we don't need to see that because he knocked out everybody. Well, you knocked out lesser competition, bro. That don't count. We don't want to see that. We want to see you against the top of the division. That's what makes you a real champion. And when you fight better competition, you don't knock out everybody. That's how you know you fought lesser competition, because you knocked out everybody. Take it from people who've been watching boxing for years, right? I mean, you can brag and say that you knocked out a bunch of nobodies, but it don't mean nothing. That's why your name is in the trash can right now. That's why Bud fans don't have nothing to stand on. They have to keep repeating the same bullshit because they know your boy looking stupid out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think Bud want to fight Spence because he's back on his shit. He's not drinking. He's not hanging out. He's focused. He's got Blu-ray. I don't think Bud want to see him now because he know he's back focused. I don't think he want to see Shawn Porter. I don't think he want to see none of them guys. Maybe Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman been inactive. Got to be a fight for him to go for. Some lesser of the evil. Somebody he could probably go and knock out or beat. Somebody who's not on top of their game. So I don't like playing this game of fighters trying to find weaknesses and in the lesser competition and going in and looking good. I like fighters that believe in their abilities and want to fight the best and people at their best. You know, that's why I don't like Canelo. That's why I don't like Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like a lot of these fighters, you know. It looked like Jamal Charlo's starting to fall into that category too. You know. So, you know, y'all can keep up with all the little fake shit that you do. You know what I'm saying? The Crawford fans, you know what I'm saying? That's all well and good. But hardcore boxing fans, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it 100. You know, now he's got to fight Shawn Porter, or the WBO is going to strip him. And I think they should have done this a long time ago. So it's either he step up or step off. You know what I'm saying? Enough with the little trolling, you know, on social media, taking jabs and, you know, all that passive-aggressive, pussy-punk-ass shit, talking, you know, about other fighters, talking on the personal side of things, you know, against people. Nobody want to hear that, man. That just makes you look stupid and ignorant. That's probably why you can't get the fights really in the first place. Nobody wants to go through that kind of gutter shit. So, that's all I got. I just want Bud to do better, man. If he's a special fighter, he needs to step up. He needs to fight the best competition and show who he really is. If not, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and fight Jose Zepeda. Go ahead, knock yourself out. You know what I'm saying? You're in the Hall of Fame anyway, right? Okay. You know, go do you. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got. You know, if you have time, smash the like button. If you like my content, subscribe to my channel. This has been Pool Counter Boxing. And remember what I say, y'all. Law don't go around here, law dog. You're savvy. See you guys in the next one.